everybody, Harrison, welcome back at it once again with a brand new video for you, and welcome back to Gran Turismo 6. It's been quite a while since I last played this, actually. The reason why is mainly because I can't be asked to put my Elgato back into my PS3. I'm a lazy slob like that sometimes. And as quite a lot of you quite rightly pointed out in one of my earlier videos, I never did the coffee break challenge for the National B section. The reason why is that I can't really be asked. So let me try and address this now, while I'm here at the Nürburgring, and let's get this out of the way. The aim of the Eco Challenge in this one is quite simply travel as far as you can on a litre of fuel. So basically, you kind of got to be careful on this one. Yeah, as you can see here, I'm trying to be clever about this. I'm basically starting the car up in 6th gear. So these as little fuel as possible. I'm just going to wind it up around this corner. And then further on, I'm going to try and let the car roll downhill like this. As you can see. So I'm try and let it roll for as long as I can. Obviously, the aim of the game is to travel as far as it can. Just trying to do whatever I can not to basically use the accelerator. Also, you kind of got to be careful as well because you're against the clock. You've only got 2 minutes to travel as far as you can. Also, obviously, I'll get a medal for this for sure, but I had quite a bit of difficulty first time around I had this game trying to get gold on this. Whoa, 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 oh. I'm an idiot. Basically, in case you wonder as well, I also had the car set to 6th gear. So obviously, so I'm using less fuel when accelerating. There we go. So, you know, this is actually quite a fun challenge when you think about it, in the sense of trying to balance the idea of speed. And obviously going against the clock as well. It's quite a fun little balance. Also, I've got the idea to stay in 6th gear basically from Oink. You may know him as the fellow Gran Turismo 6 YouTuber you may have seen. Subscribed to, he's got over 10,000 subs. He's a really, really very, very good Gran Turismo YouTuber. Did a whole heap of content on 5, and he's done a fair bit for 6 as well. So if you haven't already, check him out. Just look up Gran Turismo Oink. Does a lot of league races as well, and he's very, very good. So up towards the 1 mile mark. We should easily be able to get a bronze here on this. Let's accelerate up this hill here. 45 seconds left. I'm just going to roll across up here now. Got to roll down this hill in a minute. Remember, we've got to get to 2.18 miles. I think we're in quite good shape here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 18. Four, 3, 2, 1. There you go, 2.63. Try and beat that at home. In fact, I've got a challenge for you. If you can think you can beat that, send me a link on your channel to the video, and the best one I'll post up on my channel next week. There's a challenge for you. Beat 2.63. Have fun with that one. Right. On to the main order of the day, I think. That's the Clubman Cup, actually. Again, I just want to apologise for not uploading this game in a long time. I think it's been nearly 2 weeks now. You'd be surprised, Dre TV takes up a lot of my time now. Like, the new series has gone really, really well so far. It's been universally appreciated by most of the community and by other people. But, it's one of those things where... pardon me. It's one of those things where it does take up a lot of time. Like, I've got to write up an entire script for the Grand Prix. I've got to script everything I want to talk about in the episode. Because everything you hear in the episode is scripted, apart from when I'm talking in front of the camera. That's free-flowing, but everything else in terms of segments I've done with a script. And basically, I mean, it's not easy to do that. You've got to write it all out, then you've got to commentate it and try and get it as smooth as you can. Record all the gameplay, record all the video segments, and then basically sharpen up everything else quickly. Oh god. I saw set it to manual transmission, didn't I? I'm such a derp. Hang on. Oh, there's no, you do this one probably, to be honest. I need to watch Oink's video on this one, I think. I'll just hit the bronze for now, I'll come back to it later. There we go, 111. Simple enough. That wasn't particularly good, I know, but I was limited by a manual gearbox. Because you know I can't drive manuals for shit. Okay, let's quickly sort my engine out real quick. Automatic transmission. But yeah, basically the whole Dre TV process is a really, really long one. And it probably takes me 2 days solid work to get it done. Because the editing can take a long time as well. It's something that's not easy to put together, but I like challenging myself. And you know, it comes out really nicely in the end, so I'm pretty proud of it. Okay, you also may have noticed this is the latest update, the 1.06 version of the game, which now includes the data logger and GPS visualizer, if you're into that sort of thing. Check it out as well. Again, check out Oink's channel. He put up a really good video explaining everything that's in the update, if you wanted to know more about that. Right, the 500pp Clubman Cup. A more advanced version of the Clubman Cup in which cars of around 500pp compete. As well as the cars being a step up, the drivers you'll be racing against will be more experienced as well. So we have 3 laps of the Matterhorn, 3 laps of Rome, and 3 laps of Bathurst. I love Bathurst, that would be fun. Right. The PP limit is now 600. So you can basically use just about any car you would have obtained in the game so far. I am going to use... Well, there's a lot I could use here. Let's use the M4, because you guys may have only seen it on the camera that one time I had the botched episode. So it will give you a little bit more M4 airtime, I think. I think that'd be a nice idea. What I need to do is we need to just sit down with this game a little bit more and just play for longer periods and just split up the editing later on, because sometimes I'll record like one episode and then not touch this game again for a week, and I'm not good for that. I should just try and record as much as I can, really. But hey, you know, what do I know? Also, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Ryan83. You may have noticed the Force India and Williams clips in my latest episode of Dre TV were ones with the 2014 liveries on them. And the reason why for that is because Ryan did the gameplay for him, because he has the PC version of the game, and he was able to sort me out some replay footage for that. Yeah, you all know how good he is and how much of a friend he is as well. So check him out if you haven't already on his channel. He's a great guy. Always been a long-time follower of mine. And I'm a big admirer of his ability. He's a very, very fast racer, unlike me. Oh god. Almost spun it there already. You can tell I'm a bit rusty when it comes to this game. But we'll see what we can make of it. Okay. Also, I've got some good news for fans of the show. I am going to Eurogamer at Earl's Court in London on September the 27th and 28th, the Friday and the Saturday of Eurogamer. I'll be down at Earl's Court. So if you come into Eurogamer or you're coming down to London, you're in the area on September, come along and say hi. Tickets are already about 50% sold already, which is ridiculous. Eurogamer is getting... Eurogamer, basically EGX London, which they're now calling it, the big one. EGX London in September is basically now becoming super popular, one of the biggest gaming expos in Europe. And I'm going to be down there. I got press pass tickets for the event because, you know, I'm super important and, no, not really, it's just I basically have good credentials now as a YouTuber. So I get little perks like this. I'm not like Arrogance getting sponsored by Thrustmaster, the jamming git, or Game Right, which basically begged and grovelled for a GT Omega seat. But no, I am basically... I've got Eurogamer press pass tickets, so I should be down there on the Friday and the Saturday. If you want to come down, just come say hi. We'll do something when we get up. We'll go to McDonald's and we'll talk gaming, we'll talk racing, we'll talk Formula 1. That'll be a lot of fun. That should be awesome. It was kind of a drab thing talking Formula 1 down there, all the F1 community down there, because by that point in September the season was already over last year. Vettel pretty much gripped the title altogether right by that point, so you know it was kind of bad, but who knows, it might be even worse this year given how Mercedes are looking. I'll talk about it more during Dre TV, but the Mercedes advantage in their cars is way, way bigger than anything Red Bull's had in their last 4 years. I got into quite a discussion about this with Game Right on Twitter earlier today. He was talking about, you know, Red Bull and Mercedes and how I said Mercedes are going to be the people's champions of this season, basically for publicly coming out and saying we're going to let our boys race each other. Because that's the cool thing to do in front of the fans, you know. Fans love it when teammates scrap. Ever since the Prost and Senna days, we like it when teammates fight. It's one of those things. It's all about the story which the media likes to feed people. Whoop, that was a bad mistake of mine. But yeah, because let's be real here. Things stay as they are. We're not going to have a title race for much longer. The rest of the field is too close together, and Rosberg and Hamilton are clearly the two strongest guys in the field because their cars are about a second a lap ahead of the rest of the field. It's ridiculous. So, it was between Nico and Lewis. That was one thing that was worth talking about, and he was mentioning how I said, oh, you know, we should applaud Mercedes for letting us have a decent race. Which my response was Mercedes weren't the only reason that race was exciting. There was battles up and down the entire field. It was like, I'll say this early before I put out a Dre TV later this week. Bahrain 2014 was the best race Formula 1 has had since Valencia 2012, in my opinion. And maybe even better than that, because Valencia had a ton of battles up and down the field, and unfortunately Sebastian Vettel's retirement was the best thing that could have happened to that race, because Vettel was 20 seconds clear by the first stint, and after the safety car pulled in, he had the alternator failure. Then it became Alonso and Grosjean fighting through the field, and you know we had guys like Webber and Schumacher fighting up through the field as well to try and catch up after their horrible qualifying incidents. So there was battles up and down the field, and Valencia was ridiculously exciting. Even at the end, we had Hamilton and Maldonado, and Hamilton overcooking his tyres and having to defend from guys like Raikkonen and Maldonado. It made for some great drama. That, like, I know the Harry Awards, you guys voted Brazil as the best race of 2012. I always thought it was Valencia, in my humble opinion. But yeah, I mean, that was the best race we've had since then. But Mercedes wasn't the sole reason for that. I know for a fact a lot of fans have the attitude of a race is only exciting if there's a battle for the lead, which is you know, it's not an unreasonable thing to suggest, but to me, you got to look at the bigger picture. Just because there isn't a battle for the lead doesn't mean a race has to be boring by default. I know it's the thing fans most care about, obviously, whoever wins and all that. And, you know, a battle for the lead is always going to be more exciting than a battle for third, per se. But you got to look at the bigger picture sometimes, and you know what? The whole field was scrapping that race. Teammates are fighting each other. It was like anyone who wasn't a fan of team orders basically had their dreams come true during Bahrain, because pretty much there was teammates fighting everywhere. It was ridiculous. So it was kind of like, you know, Malaysia. We had the team orders debate flare up again with Felipe Massa's incident, and after that, you know, we had Bahrain, and there were up and down the field battles everywhere. The quote he most hit me with was basically, I can't moan about this because I've been a Red Bull supporter for the last 4 years. Wrong, I've been a Red Bull supporter for the last 7 years, I think. Maybe a little bit more than that, because for those guys that don't know how I became a Red Bull racing fan, I always liked them because I've always been a fan of Red Bull, the energy drink, because I drink caffeine like a bitch sometimes. And I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And when they had the Star Wars livery, I fell in love with them pretty much. I'd always liked David Coulthard. He's always been a really great media personality and a pretty solid driver when he was around. You know, he was a very good driver, one of the better British drivers we've had in Formula 1 history, in the grand scheme of things. Also, let me get some sports soft tyres with this car as well, because I can. But yeah, basically, that's how I became a fan. It was the Star Wars library that took me over the top, and I've backed them ever since. You know, Mark Webber wasn't such a whiny bitch back then, and David Coulthard was always fun to be around, and he was always a good guy and a good personality. I liked Vettel from the moment he debuted, pretty much. He was this happy-go-lucky, funny, you know, down-to-earth German kid who got the British culture. I like German guys that understand, you know, the British sense of humour and the British culture, like Boris Becker, for example. If you ever hear him during Wimbledon, he's funny. Like Boris, like if I see him on Top Gear, Boris Becker is a legitimately really funny guy who gets how British people tick. He gets the sense of humour. He speaks really good English, and I always like guys like that. And I, you know, always appreciated that Seb was always a fan of British comedy, like Monty Python, which is probably the best British comedy series ever made. You know, it comes to TV series and films, Monty Python is amazing. Little Britain, not so much a fan of that, but still, I have to appreciate people did love it. It was popular. Whoops. Yeah, basically, that's how I got to liking Seb, and it just got more and more when he joined Red Bulls. Like, so imagine one of my more likable drivers joining my favourite team was always an awesome idea, and that's how my fandom was born. In case people have asked me about this for a long time, like, oh, how did you end up being a Vettel fan when you're British? Because nothing I've had a bone to pick with recently is, like, I hate people that try and force, you know, opinions on you basically for being patriotic. I actually had an Ask FM question the other day saying, you know, Red Bull fans should start backing Lewis, and I'm like, well, why? Because he's British? That doesn't count as a reason. I'm sorry, yeah, but okay, I have nothing against people that are patriotic. Because I know America is worse for that. They're ridiculously patriotic when it comes to things involving their own country. We aren't far behind that as British people. We British people love to back our own. We love to back the British underdog as well, because we had guys like Eddie the Eagle. He was a shit ski jumper, but because he was so brave and English, we all backed him anyway. You know, I don't like it when people try and force that down your throat. It's like the people that knock on your door who are Jehovah's Witnesses, and they're telling you, hey, why aren't you being a Christian? And they're going to question your beliefs. And it's like, you've come to my doorstep trying to preach to me views which aren't my own. Like, fuck off. You know what I mean? And the same way that people are telling me I should support Lewis Hamilton because he's British, and I'm British too. No, that's not how it works, okay? Like I said, nothing against people who are patriotic. If you're English and you back an English dude, awesome. Good for you. I have nothing against people who do that at all, but don't force it down other people's throats. That shit gets really annoying. And people that know me well know I've had confrontations with people on Twitter and on the internet about that. It's just bullshit, and you know, I don't like it at all. It's one of those things where I just wish people, you know, people should be more open to differing views. And I've always said, you know, we are blessed in a society that have freedom of choice on a lot of things when it comes to who we support. Accept all, rather than just saying only, you know, we should all back British people. Why? I'm Jamaican originally. I shouldn't really be backing any British driver. And what anyone mentions, oh, because Hamilton's black too? Yeah, he's African black. He's originally of Grenadian descent. I'm of Jamaican descent in the Caribbean. Not the same thing. Because people have mentioned that to me as well, about, oh, you should back Hamilton because he's black. Yeah, I used to back him because he was black. But then Monaco 2011 happened. where he basically played the race card, which is one of the dumbest things you can do as a black person, in my opinion anyway. You know, yes, you're black, Lewis. There's no need to highlight the fact that you're black. It doesn't help your argument because, unfortunately, people are short-sighted these days, and people are bigoted in society these days. It doesn't help. So, you know, don't mention that. Don't make light of that. That's the thing we should be trying to ignore. It's like the people that are It's like the people that are being ignorant when it comes to things like gay rights. It's like, oh, they just want attention. No, they don't. They want to be treated as equals. That's the reason why they want it. You know. Hey, I've been rambling for England here. It's ridiculous. Jeez. This is the internet, unfortunately. It's the culture we believe in, where if you don't agree with it, or if you don't agree with what somebody else says, they tend to attack you for it. And me being as opinionated as I am, means I run that risk of people, you know, giving me stick for having an opinion. And unfortunately, people don't realise the whole backbone of my channel has come from that. Anyone that's seen any episode of The Online Racer will know that in the past. Anyone who's seen that will know that I'm an opinionated YouTuber who has a lot to say on certain things, on certain issues. Anyone who's seen Dre Talks will know that as well. I'm very passionate about a number of topics, a number of subjects that, in my opinion, deserve to be highlighted. It's just the kind of person that I am. And, you know, when you're as an emotional a person as me as well, I mean, I wear my heart on my sleeve a lot of the time. And I'm very outspoken because I like being that guy that's not afraid of saying things that are bold or that might, you know, piss people off only because it's something that doesn't fit the norm. I don't deliberately try and be a contrarian or anything. And I'll always be reasonable in my feedback a lot of the time. It's just, you know, it's just not the best environment to be doing that kind of thing. As I dive bomb this. Is that Tesla? I don't think it is. Whatever. It should be fun. This back straight, which is just full of speed. I get to drop everybody as well. Corvette Grand Sport. Full of Evos in this grid as well, actually. Bit shaky on the braking there, but that's fine. It's an Evo 8, I think, there. Oh, tap me there a little bit there. Is an Evo 8. Well spotted, Dre. I recognise my cars. Speaking of cars, I hope we get. I know people have been asking me about E3 as well. I'm hoping we get news about Forza Horizon 2, if that's a real possibility, on next gen. Because seriously, if I get an official announcement about Forza Horizon 2, I might just buy an Xbox One for it. I've been on the fence about buying one for a long time, but it's like I don't see it really as a worthwhile investment. I just don't believe. I've not been very impressed with the next gen consoles. Really, in all honesty, it's one of those things where I look at it and I think, is that it? Really? Is this really 10 years better than what the PS3 and the 360 had? It isn't really, in my opinion. Like, if I was to move myself onwards gaming-wise, I'd be buying a gaming PC. Because there's a lot of stigma about gaming PCs, but the reality is they're more feasible than ever. You know, there's places where they will now actually build your PC for you. And you know, they're affordable too. Like, you can get a decent spec gaming PC for 400, 500 quid, the same price as an Xbox One or a PS4. So, or even a Wii U, because Wii U's are expensive. Maybe not the console itself, but the gear that comes with it is very pricey. So it's like, get a gaming PC. I mean, most games that come out on consoles come out cheaper on PC. Not to mention you get the Steam library, which is ridiculous. I mean, more games than you can shake a stick at, more selections, more user-friendly, and it's brilliant. So, it's some of those things where I just get the feeling of, why would anyone buy an XB1 or a PS4 when they can get a gaming PC? Maybe it's a space thing, I don't know. But to me, I think that's the best investment you can make in terms of gaming right now. Rather than an Xbox One, which I think has been a bit disappointing. I mean, it looks good, but I expected more, especially given it's £430. And it's already, I mean, I reckon at E3 there'll be a price drop coming for that console, for sure. And, or maybe they'll try and find a way to sell it without the Kinect, to try and get themselves back in the race with the PS4, because Microsoft has to do something, because Sony has run them into the ground with the PS4. Don't get me wrong, the PS4 has not won the war by any stretch. But I also have to say that Xbox One have lost the initial battle in terms of console sales, because the PS4 is selling like hotcakes. Microsoft and Xbox need to do something, and quick. I mean, I've already heard they're talking about the possibility of making the Xbox One backwards compatible, which would be huge. If they could do that, then that would get them back in the race immediately. If you tell people, look, you can still play your 360 games on here, that would be amazing. I would buy one immediately and trade this thing in. Because I've got the slimline Xbox, you've got the 360S right here in front of me. And I could still trade that in for like £100 right now if I wanted to, quite easily. I could get an Xbox One for 320 or something like that. That would be pretty nice. Whoa! 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 Under braking all over the place. Got away with it a little bit there. I didn't realise I was going at 175 miles an hour around that corner. My bad. That was a bit of a wake-up call for me on that one. This M4 is very fun though. Especially with these new tyres. Very grippy. Woodwiss himself told me about this. Also, I want to extend my congratulations to Liam Jenkins. You may know him on the F1 community. Commentates for Sim Raceway and does all sorts of stuff. He got the job at Motors TV. He'll be commentating the British GT Championship on Motors TV. So congrats to Jenkins. One of the true nice guys of the community. One of the very passionate guy, very knowledgeable. And just generally speaking, a lovely bloke. And my commiserations to Woodwiss, my man Scotty, who didn't quite get it, unfortunately. I think he was runner-up in the end, which is a shame, because I feel like his demo reel, Scott's demo reel was better. And he came second in a social media vote, which I don't know why there was even. I don't even know I was even a part of it, because social media is not going to help anybody. It's not going to tell a story, because people are not. It's not a fair test, because people have different levels of friends. People have different ways of getting themselves out there. If I was a member of this competition, for sure, I would have been able to try and have an advantage. I have like a 4,400 subscriber fan base that I could tap into. So it's not really a true sign of, you know, judging a winner. So I don't know why I was even a part of the voting process, but I feel bad for Scott, I really do, because Scott deserved the break. He would have been a great presenter. I've said it before about Scott to his face, but I'll say it here as well. He's one of the most naturally gifted commentators I've ever seen. He was born to do that. He really was. And I feel gutted for him because he definitely deserved it. His time will come, I'm sure of it. He definitely deserves it. And, you know, his time will come. He's just got to stay patient. He's a very, very passionate dude. He really, really wanted it. And I felt really bad for him in the end, but he deserves it. And he'll get his chance. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's hold that one a little bit better. Yikes, man. I keep messing that bit up. It's crazy. Gotta stop doing that. Last corner, but Barfest is a really fun track. Just the back and forth, the windy corners, the straight. It's really fun. Should do that more often. Barfest is great. We'll be seeing more of it soon, don't worry about that. And yeah, the M4 is a really fun little car, for sure. Not sure it's worth the price of like 120,000 credits, but you get the money so easily in this game, it doesn't really matter. So we have the first 9 stars in National A with the Clubman Cup taken care of, which is nice. I think we're up to 19, I think it's like 150 overall now or something like that. Next up, we have, oh yeah, we got the mission races have now been unlocked for National A. So we have the European Hot Hatch Battle, we have the Classic Sports Car Battle, War at 3,000 meters, the Matterhorn Face-Off, Night Fight, Apricot Hill by Starlight, and a 1-lap Corvette Showdown at Willow Springs. We'll probably be taking that on next time, so that'll be fun to check out. So until then, I've been Harrison101, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Sayonara.